You look like you are having a wonderful time. Prince Grayson lied politely. Happy birthday. Thank you. She replied graciously, as if nothing truer had ever been said. You are the first one to wish me a happy birthday, she said as he led her out on the floor. After a bit of dancing, she laughed and said, At least you're not stepping on my toes like a couple of the other princes have done. Princess Ebony's face lit up with a beautiful smile. Prince Grayson couldn't help but smile back as he artfully led her to the center of the ballroom. After they started dancing, others began to join them. He skillfully led the princess as they danced around everyone on the floor. He couldn't help but notice how well she danced with him. It was almost like they fit together like puzzle pieces. Say something, urged Radion. Trying to think of something witty to say, Prince Grayson was relieved to hear the princess speak up, only to be amused by the subject. Is it true that Perorian women train for combat? Grayson raised his eyes at her, while his lips twitched to smile at her brashness, but yet he could see the seriousness and excitement that glittered in her eyes, and he did not laugh. He just simply replied, Yes, they are. If they do they go to battle? Princess Ebony asked eagerly. I have never heard reports of female dragons taking part in battles with our soldiers. Prince Grayson's face broke into a huge grin. This girl was unbelievable. He couldn't help but wonder why an Alarian princess would be so interested in this. It's because she has a strong ancient dragon, snorted Radion. Many ancient nations had dragon queens, and they were just as knowledgeable as their male counterparts when it came to war and leading battles. Do you remember the story of Queen Adelaide's first battle with King Therum? I don't have time for ancient history lessons at the moment, hissed Prince Grayson. I thought you were going to be quiet. He shook his head, smiling at Princess Ebony. They have had no need to do so yet. Then he quickly added, after getting a brief glimpse of the disappointment that she hid with her bright smile, But we may need them one day, so it never hurts to prepare. Oh, was all she said. Why not continue with an explanation? Suggested Redion, when an uncomfortable silence ensued. She is obviously interested in understanding our ways in Peroria. After a moment, Prince Grayson thought of what he could say to break the silence. They do fly patrols over the borders of Peroria if we are at war, he said simply. With male dragons? Ebony eagerly asked. Prince Grayson smiled again at the excitement in her voice, while she kept her bright smile. He kept trying to figure out where this curiosity of hers came from. Her slightly flushed face, a curious light in her eyes, and the eagerness in her voice seemed to be all indicators that her curiosity was honestly hers and not an information quest. He could feel the strength of the arm wrapped around his neck. He could feel the strength in her whole body as he dipped her. The strength of a warrior woman. Not always, he replied. Sometimes they go out alone, but they train with the males and practice drills with scenarios about what to do if our soldiers are gone fighting and our country is attacked. Really? Her black eyes sparkled. What else? Prince Grayson paused a moment, not sure if he should share more. Radian noticed his hesitation. Go on, he encouraged. Tell her what they are trained for. Alarion has never breached our borders to the point that we have had to have women fight, and it's not like it will happen in the near future with us around. We train the women soldiers how to defend Pyroria in case of a border breach, and an invading army is marching towards the castle. If this was to happen, there are ways to defend the castle that doesn't require a direct attack against them. He cautiously said, not entirely comfortable with where the conversation was headed. A direct attack could lead to an immediate defeat if the army was significantly larger than the amount of women troops that could be trained and left behind to fight them, and especially if the rest of our army could not reinforce them in time. Princess Ebony looked confused. How can they defend their land without actually engaging in combat? She asked incredulously. Well, for example, they could burn up any large bridges, making it difficult for soldiers to cross deep rivers and bring their weapons along. Not all fighting is done in the skies, explained Prince Grayson. They would also round up any livestock that enemy dragons would want to feed on and drive them out of their path. Men and dragons both need to have food to sustain their strength in order to fight. Shifters need more meat when operating in their dragon form than when they are fighting as men. They would also warn villagers to move out of the path of the invaders and possibly destroy any other foods left behind. such as stored grain and fresh gardens. It was almost as if Prince Grayson could see the wheels spinning in her head as Princess Ebony was giving serious thought to what he had just said. With a look of determination, she said, "I think it's time to lead the women of Valerian out of the Dark Ages." That caught Prince Grayson by surprise. He almost missed a step. He pictured her stodgy father and his misogynistic views, and the way Prince Edwin parroted those same views of women's acceptable behavior in Valerian. If Prince Edwin is anything like King Liam, I don't see that happening. He chuckled. Princess Ebony narrowed her eyes and tossed her head. With an obvious look of displeasure, Ebony said, "Who says that he will be the next monarch to sit on the throne of Valerian?" Stunned by this comment, Prince Grayson actually missed a beat and stepped soundly on her toe. Princess Ebony couldn't hide her wince of pain. "I am so sorry. I just didn't realize there was anyone else who would be next in line." "Oh." Realization flooded him as to what she was hinting at. "I thought women could not rule in Valerian," he exclaimed. This time Ebony's black eyes stared unwavering into Prince Grayson's hazel eyes. With a look of steely determination, she repeated her first statement. "Like I said, it's time to lead the women of Valerian out of the Dark Ages." They stood in the middle of the ballroom floor staring at each other. Their dance had ended as the music stopped. They were not aware of their surroundings. They were only aware of the revelations they had received from each other. Suddenly, King Bariad was standing before Grayson and forcibly taking Princess Ebony's hand and leading her away from him. He looked around for his uncle. Locating him, he stumbled towards him like a drunken man. "What was that?" he asked Radion, as he tried to make his way to Romid. "What was that?" Radion snapped. "That's the explanation of why Nova is hiding herself. She is not what I expected of an Alarian princess. She's beautiful and strong. She is the dichotomy of what I expected. I expected weak and simpering, not smart and warrior-like," he said, not grasping what Radion had just said as he approached Romid. "What?" asked Romid. Prince Grayson stared at his uncle. "Oh, did I say that out loud? I was speaking to Radion." Romid looked curiously at his nephew. "Are you all right? You seem shaken." Prince Grayson shook his head. "I think Princess Ebony plans to sit on a throne, but not in any submission to a king." Romid looked shocked. "What do you mean?" "I think she plans to rule Alarian," said Prince Grayson. "But she can't," exclaimed Romid. "They will never allow that to happen. It could cause a civil war in Alarian." Radion snorted. "Too bad he can't tell us anything we haven't already figured out." Prince Grayson ignored his snarky dragon. "I need to sit down," he told his uncle. "Oh no, you need to get back in line to dance with the princess again," Romid commanded. "I am not sure if I want to, and you can't make me," said Prince Grayson. "Why not?" "You need to find out what her plans are," demanded Romid. "Why do I need to find out what her plans are?" he asked. "Because if this is what she plans to do, and it happens, we could possibly sweep up the pieces of what's left of Valerian and take it over," Romid said. Radion huffed. "She is our mate. It's not going to happen." "Are you sure, Radion?" inquired Prince Grayson. "I mean, you can't even sense her dragon. We can't know for sure if all you are doing is speculating." "True. But I can sense the ancient dragon magic. I can feel an attraction that is nearly overwhelming but yet so familiar and comfortable," replied Radion. "What is Radion saying?" demanded Romid. "He is saying that your plan will never work because she is our mate. Just back off a bit, Uncle Romid, and let us figure out what's going on if we can." Prince Grayson walked back to the refreshments. Prince Grayson had almost gotten up the courage to ask Princess Ebony for another dance when Eliaster rejoined his companions. "I have met the most wonderful Illyrian woman," he said excitedly. "Yeah," Romid said. Prince Grayson and Romid exchanged looks and then laughed. "What did I tell you? Come meet her," he begged Prince Grayson. Prince Grayson wasn't really ready to dance again with the princess at the moment anyhow, so he allowed his friend to lead them over to a very pretty blonde. After meeting her, he walked back to the tables. He was aware that all the other princes, except for him, and the passed-out prince in the corner, had danced a couple of times with Princess Ebony already. Once again, when he could have jumped in for a dance, he took off, this time to find the privy. He repeated this pattern, always finding somewhere else to be when he should have been dancing with Princess Ebony. Suddenly Radion gasped. "It is Nova." How do you know? Asked Prince Grayson, as he turned to witness a very angry Princess Ebony pinch Prince Ty's huge nose and give it a vicious twist. He had been so attentive in his efforts to avoid dancing with her, he hadn't noticed her altercation with King Bariode. Nova just screamed at Princess Ebony to stop, and all of us dragons heard her, exclaimed Radion. Prince Grayson looked to find Princess Ebony screaming like an enraged banshee.